Hello there.
Hello, Armeet. Do I recall you saying that you speak gobbledygook?
I did. I do. Speak it. Is this to do with the goblin I saw you with in Hogsmeade?
It is. His name is Lodgok. We could use your help with something. He's waiting for me near a goblin mine. Would you be willing to help?
Of course. How exciting. Well, might this be dangerous?
I think he simply wants to show me something that involves gobbledygook. If it helps, he's a friend of Sirona's.
Good to hear. Good to hear. If Sirona trusts him, then I feel much better.
Have you ever spoken directly to a goblin?
Unbelievably, no. I'm so looking forward to it. Actually conversing in gobbledygook with a native speaker. Cannot wait to confirm subtle bits of pronunciation and tone that may have eluded me, being self-taught and all.
You said you know gobbledygook, but how well?
I've been reading it for as long as I've been reading English. My parents have an extensive library. Once I grew bored with the classics, I devoured goblin writings. I'd tell you some titles, but you wouldn't understand them.
Lodgok is waiting. Should we go?
Of course. I just want to check the pronunciation of a couple of key terms first. So I will meet you there.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
What do you have in store for me this time? Rebellion!
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
I have some promising news about the location of our Hebridean dragon friend and
Also,
meet me in the town circle in Hogsmeade.
This looks intriguing. Revelio. Revelio. Accio. Repulso. Not so tricky after all, Merlin. Revelio. Repulso. Revelio. Confringo. Confringo. Merlin himself would be proud. A friend who speaks gobbledygook is meeting us. Before he arrives, perhaps you could tell me why we're here?
Of course. Unfortunately, presenting Ranrock with the Helmet of Urtkot did not have the effect I'd hoped. Because he knew the details surrounding its plunder, he presumed I'd had help from a witch or wizard in retrieving it.
How else did he expect Goblinkind to get the helmet back? Seems he has no interest in making amends with you.
I'm afraid we do not have the luxury of rational expectation when it comes to Ranrock. Damn Bragbor and his blasted journals.
Bragbor?
An ancestor of Ranrock's, renowned metal worker. If we are to work together, I suppose I must tell you more. Not long ago, Ranrock sent me to collect a recently unearthed set of Bragbor's journals. They described repositories that Bragbor had been commissioned to build for a group of witches and wizards.
What do you mean, repositories?
Large, magically fortified receptacles crafted from goblin metal. Ranrock recruited others to help me locate the repositories. We were to search anywhere that was connected to 5 names mentioned in the journals: Rackham, Fitzgerald, Bakar, Morganach, and Rookwood.
Rookwood Castle.
That is where we began our search.
Why does Ranrock care so much about these repositories?
He cares about what they contain. For centuries, wizards have refused to share their magical knowledge with goblins. Your kind will not even let us carry wands. Thus, many goblins, myself included, have spent our lives mistrusting wizard kind. Ranrock was convinced that the repositories contained a magical power that wizards wanted to keep for themselves. He is determined to take it for goblin kind. But
Here
he's...
comes my friend Amit. Probably best to continue our conversation later.
Greetings, Lord Gok. It is an honor, sir.
You speak gobbledygook.
Oh, Bagalio.
Enough. Please do not tell me that was meant to be gobbledygook.
Yes. Perhaps my pronunciation was a bit off. I imagine certain dialects differ.
Pronunciation is not the issue. I barely recognize that as language. I trust you can read gobbledygook better than you can speak it?
I can, Sir Lord Gok.
Just Lord Gok. Thankfully, we only need someone who can decipher written plans, since I cannot join you in the mine.
What written plans? And why can't you come with us?
We need some idea of what Ranrock knows or is plotting. I suspect a careless loyalist may have left plans behind. And I'm unable to join you because I cannot risk anyone reporting my presence to Ranrock. All you need to do is not be seen, either by the eye above the enchanted door or a loitering loyalist.
What else should we know about the enchanted door?
The door will not open while the eye can see you. You and your friend must be invisible to it to gain access. From what I know of wizard magic, that shouldn't be too difficult to achieve.
Amit and I can do this.
I will await your return. I shall see you soon.
The door is looking at us.
Yes, of course. Books so rarely prepare one for reality. A real goblin mine. It's even grander than I had expected. I cannot believe I met a goblin.
Let's just learn what we can and get out.
Look at this lift. Impressive workmanship for so simple a device.
Impressive workmanship aside, it's the only way forward.
I still can't believe we're inside a real goblin mine. I've read about mines like this. Seeing one is something else altogether.
Amit, you'll need to stay close to me. I've dealt with worse enemies than these.
Quite good at sneaking about.
This might be the best meal I've had in years. No, I mean it. I don't think I shall need to eat again till next week. What's going on out there? Hour aside till Ranrock sets.
That was a little more than I'm used to.
I'll get us through this safely, Amit. You have my word. Revelio. Revelio.
I feel like a character from one of the adventure books I read during the summer holidays.
Let's take a look around, Amit. See if we can find any plans.
Bound to be a schematic. They're building something. I can't quite make it out. Curious. I will get to the bottom of what they've been building down here.
Revelio.
How nice of you to see.
Revelio.
Fascinating to see gobbledygook written in a goblin hand. The flourishes are extraordinary. Let me know if you see any more plans or schematics. We can't return to Lodgok empty-headed.
Revelio.
If I'm translating this correctly, and I think that I am, they're building something rather large. But what? There must be more notes around here. What could they be building?
Revelio.
This really is too much.
Stay close. I've handled much worse. Revelio.
Another one. This place is more complex than I had expected. I wonder if the boiler powers the lever. I suspect it must.
Revelio.
The boiler activated that handle. See it? I see. Accio should easily engage the handle. Marvelously clever.
Revelio. Revelio.
Devil's snare. Nasty stuff if we're not careful.
Not an entanglement we need right now.
Incendio. Revelio.
Incendio.
Right. Don't wish to be seen, do we?
It won't be long now before we find another.
Revelio. Furious Totalis. Revelio.
Famished.
Furious Totalis. Revelio.
Goblins will finally rule over wizards.
Furious Totalis. Revelio. Furious Totalis.
I won't rest. How nice of you to stop by.
Revelio.
Leave your accusations in someone else's direction if you don't mind.
Furious Totalis.
I have a problem.
How many of them are there?
That should be the last of them, I'll meet. Revelio. Revelio. Confringo. Revelio.
This is not good. They're building enormous drills, bigger than this mine could contain.
Let's get out of here and tell Lodgok what we found.
I need a moment to catch my breath. This was more than I bargained for.
I'm glad you came with me, Amit. Now that we know what they're up to, we can get out of here. Hello, Amora. Revelio. We're almost out of here, Amit. Look, the lift.
A welcome sight indeed. Can we please talk about what just happened?
That wasn't so bad, was it?
It was. It really was. I'm afraid I've had enough adventure for one day. For a lifetime, perhaps.
Thank you, Amit. I couldn't have done it without you. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to have a word with Lodgok.
Understood? I'll leave you to it. Your goblin secrets are safe with me, but I get to write the book about this escapade someday. Without further ado, adieu.
They're building enormous drills. We found their plans. Ranrock must be searching for the repositories.
I fear you are correct. Other than Rookwood Castle, however, I do not know where else he plans to search.
I've been wondering about something else you said before we entered the mine.
Yes?
If you share Ranrock's views, then why are you helping me?
I expected Rookwood Castle to be deserted when I arrived to begin my search. So was surprised to find a witch there who had set up a sort of improvised research site. She was studying something so intently that she almost didn't notice me. When she looked up, I thought she would react with fear or disdain. But instead she did something that I will never forget. Without a moment's hesitation, she smiled and asked me to sit with her. She told me that she was a researcher and showed me a small, oddly shaped container with a strange symbol on it. She was certain it was made of goblin metal, but was unable to open it. She wanted to work together.
Miriam.
Yes. But how did you...
Professor Fig's wife. He told me of her research, and I know of the container.
The reverence with which she talked of goblins and their intelligence and skill, it caught me entirely off guard. I'd never been treated with such respect by a witch or wizard. So, to my surprise, I let her study the container if she would allow me to search the castle on my own. We parted ways, with her promising to share what she'd learned. More of Ranrock's recruits arrived, and we began to dig, eventually locating the first repository. Ranrock was thrilled with our discovery, but furious when I told him about Miriam. Berated me for trusting a witch, and I heard she'd been killed.
You think Ranrock murdered her?
I don't want to believe it, but I don't know. After that, something shifted in me. I had seen how the power from the repositories was transforming Ranrock, transforming all of them. I could no longer remain a part of it.
Thank you, Lodgok, for telling me this.
I tell you all of this so that you understand what is at stake. Ranrock never found all of Bragbor's journals, but the ones he did find suggest that Bragbor at some point built a repository far greater in size than the one beneath Rookwood Castle. What you've discovered here today worries me deeply. If Ranrock learns of the location of that repository, I fear we shall be destined for a great war. I will find out what Ranrock knows. Watch for my owl.
Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade. I didn't keep you waiting, did I?
Not at all. I was just at the post office. Gran told me to expect a package, but it looks as if she forgot to send it. She didn't send me an owl this week either. Perhaps she's busy with her research.
What kind of research is she doing?
It varies from week to week, but it's always to do with creatures. Last week she was studying leg knots in plimpies.
What was she sending you?
Only some feed she's been developing. I was going to give it to Professor Howen for the measles.
What did you find out about the dragon you were tracking?
I realised that she didn't know the poachers had her egg, so when she left Horntail Hall, she would have headed straight to her nest. I went back to the tent and tracked her flight.
How do you track a dragon long after she's gone?
Tree canopies, burn marks, things like that.
Well done. You certainly know what you're doing.
I can't be certain, but I have an idea of one place she may have been heading. I thought we might go and see it for ourselves.
Of course. Shall we leave now?
If that's all right. I want to see how she's faring if she had a collar on. And she's likely frantic about her egg. Here we are. I do think this is where we'll find her. The terrain's typical of where the breed would nest. I suspect it's how the poachers found her to begin with. They likely camped here and logged her patterns. Perhaps nabbed her first and then her egg. Dragons are hard enough to wrangle, let alone maternal ones.
You got all of that from simply standing here?
You'd be surprised how easy it is to think like a poacher. Shall we see if she's home? We only need to return her egg.
That sounds straightforward enough.
We should be in and out. Then we can be finished with the poachers once and for all.
If you're right about finding her here, how do we go about returning the egg?
Her nest will likely be in the heart of her den, which she will be keeping guard over. It might also be more charred than anywhere else, I imagine.
I don't suppose you've thought about keeping it, have you?
No, it belongs to her. Keeping it will make me just as bad as the poachers.
Well then, let's find our dragon and return her egg.
Wonderful. If she sees us flying about, she might take it as a sign of aggression or food. We should stay on foot. Oh, and one more thing. Let's not agitate her. Goodness knows she's been through enough already. I'm ready when you are. There she is, above us. She did make it home safely. Oh, good. It looks as if she wasn't collared like the other dragons.
For what it's worth, she doesn't seem to have spotted us yet. Revelio.
At least until we've done what we came to do. I wonder how many they brought to capture her. At least 10 usually.
Revelio. There she is again.
She...
From a distance. Prepare her.
Fantastic. I wonder how good her eyesight is.
I beg your pardon?
I don't imagine the poachers fed her well. And from a distance, we probably look exactly like sheep to her. Hebrides love her.
How lucky for us. Watch your step.
Starved to pick off a grub.
Revelio. Or just raring for a fight.
Quiet, what was that? There's no turning back now.
Wait here! I'll run ahead!
Whenever you're ready, I'll follow the lead.
I'll draw my attention. Follow when it's safe.
Over here! Watch out! It's her domain. She'll make keep at it. We've just got to make it to the nest.
Oh, she isn't making it easy.
Not a warm welcome.
It's a little too warm, if you ask. I don't suppose she listened to reason.
I'd normally try, but we're well past that. Get to that opening below her. If we can get to that, we can get to the nest. the nest. We're almost there. Why is
Revelio.
it broken?
Reparo.
Now, if we just return her egg, we can hopefully make it out without too much fuss. That was brilliant! And did you see how clever? She left us perfectly unharmed.
Creatures are a lot cleverer than most people realize.
That's what Gran always says. The important thing is that we survived it, and we returned her egg. Thank you for doing this with me. Wouldn't blame you one bit if you wanted to head back to the castle and never think about dragons again.
Shall we head back? I'm ready if you are.
I am. After our dragon rescue at Hauntel Hall, I half expect to be ambushed by poachers any time I'm not in the castle.
Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them.
True. So why haven't they come after us? It's not like them to let things lie. Unless
what?
Unless they haven't let things lie. Oh no, I can't believe I didn't see it. We need to leave. I need to send an owl. How could I have been so blind?
Come now, don't be stingy.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented blue.
You'll never believe what I...
What did you discover in the spellbook we found in the scriptorium?
Salazar Slytherin's spellbook was a little difficult to interpret, but fascinating. Evidently, he encouraged teaching dark magic at Hogwarts. Neither the Imperious Curse nor the Killing Curse was unforgivable during his time. He believed students should be prepared to use dark magic when necessary, not to fear it. That's why we had to use Crucio to gain access to the scriptorium. He didn't want his knowledge shared with anyone who was afraid of the power of dark magic.
It was hard to do, but casting Crucio was our only option.
And I'm glad we did it, because in the spellbook I also found something else. References to a lost relic, which, from what I can tell, grants the holder the power to reverse dark magic curses.
And you think this relic might be able to save Anne?
Precisely. I plan to search for this relic, but I don't think we should tell anyone. Especially Ominous. He wouldn't understand.
I see no reason to involve Ominous.
I'm glad you agree. When I know more, I shall send an owl. And don't feel sorry for Ominous. Keeping this to ourselves for now is for his own good.
I'll decide what's for my own good.
Ominous, we were just about to get some air. Care to join?
You're a liar, Sebastian. I heard everything. You swore you'd never engage in anything to do with dark magic again.
No, I didn't. I said I understood you wanting that. I'd never swear to give up on finding a cure for Anne.
You don't know when to stop, do you?
I know when not to stop. Leave this alone, Ominous. I'll be on my way.
I am not letting this go.
Ominous, Sebastian meant well.
I know what I heard. You knew I wouldn't agree with this. Going after that relic is not a good idea. Sebastian doesn't even realize it, but he's as irresponsible and reckless now as his parents were years ago. It's why they died.
I knew his parents died, but I never heard what happened.
Mr. and Mrs. Sallow were professors. Spent nearly every waking moment in the cellar library. Noses buried in books. Anne and Sebastian were upstairs when it happened. They heard a sudden crash and ran downstairs, but it was too late. Their parents had crumpled to the floor. A defect with the lamp in the cellar caused the room to fill with an undetectable toxin. Sebastian and Anne were helpless. They had no magic yet.
What a horrible story.
It is. That's why I can't understand Sebastian's recklessness. I've practically lost Anne. I cannot lose Sebastian too. Please avoid anything to do with that spellbook.
Those references in the book seem promising.
Everything to do with Salazar Slytherin seems promising until it's too late. I hope Sebastian pursues this no further, but if you think he might, please let me know. It would mean a lot.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Not sure how I'd fare in a little place like...
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic was the answer.
Excuse me, did you say something about Bardolph Beaumont?
Oh, hello again. How nice to see you. And yes, I did. I was just worrying about Claire Beaumont's brother Bardolph, only he's gone missing. Rumour is he was seen in the forest practicing dark magic. Saw him myself near some ruins with Rookwood's lot I did. I fear he got himself into trouble with the Ashwinders, especially if he made them a promise he couldn't keep. I'd help search for him myself, but no one will risk encountering Ranrock's loyalists. They seem to be everywhere.
Do you think Bardolph may have simply run off?
No. Bardolph's run that shop with Claire his entire life. He'd not give it up for anything. He swore he'd be back in a fortnight. My instincts are that he's been held captive, or worse.
Why would Bardolph want to get involved with the Ashwinders?
Oh, he had a terrible run-in with Ranrock's loyalists. Changed him. He vowed never to feel powerless again. I think he sought the Ashwinders out to learn their secrets. Victor Rookwood, at least, seems somehow immune to Ranrock's loyalists.
I can certainly look out for him.
Any help would be appreciated. You might speak to Claire first. Perhaps she has some insights that I don't. I can tell you that Bardolph was last seen in the forest wearing a particular woolen jumper, one that Claire knitted herself. Claire will be at her shop if you'd like to speak with her.
Anne is getting worse. If there is any chance that the relic from Slytherin's spellbook can help her, I must find it.
I came as soon as I could.
I'd been so distracted by the scriptorium and Slytherin's book that I'd almost forgotten what it was that had struck me about that triptych. This is the view painted on the canvas that was left on it.
That's incredible. You know this area well.
And while I was waiting for you, I scouted around and discovered an abandoned mine nearby, surrounded by Ranrock's loyalists.
Do you think there's a connection to the triptych?
I've no idea, but perhaps they're searching it, the way they did Rookwood Castle and Isidora's Manor. How do we want to handle this?
We need to see what they're doing, but let's not draw their attention.
Very well.
And I still have that rune symbol we found on the triptych. If there is a connection, I suspect we'll see that symbol again.
After you.
There they are up ahead.
I'll let you lead.
We're close to our...
Revelio.
No one enters this mine. Kill anyone who tries.
Ranrock's loyalists are out for blood.
Revelio.
Seems quiet. Too quiet, if you ask me.
It's Totalis.
Who's there?
Revelio. It's Totalis. Revelio. Revelio. Petrificus totalis. Revelio.
This is going well.
We make a good team.
We do at that.
Once again, we could fight our way through or be discreet.
You know which one I'd choose?
Oi! Pass that fire whiskey over here. You have to learn to share.
Petrificus totalis. Revelio. Petrificus totalis.
Grapple, you are.
Revelio.
Those goblins in my family worked in the mines at one time or other.
Revelio.
I deserve better than patrol duty. One of the best meals.
Aha! There you are!
You will suffer. Can't handle a little.
Places. Defender.
And the fun is over.
Fun is a relative term.
It is. And that was relatively fun.
We must remain.
For better or for worse, we're in.
Feels like I've been at this for hours.
Petrificus totalis. This mine looks like a tomb.
It was closed after accidents were reported. Now I see why.
I don't see any goblins in these webs.
Too disgusting for even a spider to prey on.
Revelio.
Oh, there's
Somebody there? Up for a bit of dive?
Let's get. I won't rest until you're dead.
Won't get away with that.
Crucio.
No! Make it stop!
How many Ranrock's loyalists are in here?
Too many. They definitely think there's something here they want. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Arresto. It's no wonder spiders give people goosebumps.
Could be the hairy legs, or the soulless eyes. Number of endearing qualities, Rick. Should have thought to conjure
Revelio.
stairs. I'll be quieter than a jobberknoll.
Reparo. Revelio. Petrificus totalis.
We're making quick work of them.
Professor Hecat would be proud.
She would at that. Ranrock's loyalists have all but declared war.
Incendio. Silent as a grave.
We've still not seen a single rune symbol.
I think we're going to be a bit distracted from runes for a moment.
An unwelcome distraction at that.
We have another fight on our hands. Revelio. Petrificus totalis. Revelio.
What I wouldn't give for a cup of mushroom.
Petrificus totalis. Revelio.
I didn't touch your helm. Thank you for making me the first object of your suspicions. Know who my friends are now, don't I? You ought to cut back on pudding.
Petrificus totalis.
Someone there? Not quiet enough.
I shall avenge your death.
Descendo. Expelliarmus. We're not finished yet.
It's almost as if they will come.
Confringo. Arresto and Accio. Leviosa. Descendo. Bombardo. Expelliarmus. Accio. Incendio. Confringo. Bombarded. Expelliarmus. Glacius. Defender. Rependo. Levioso. Sender.
We certainly cleared the room.
You're not a bad chap. For a Slytherin.
You Gryffindors don't have a monopoly on bravery, you know.
Revelio. Confringo.
We can have a look around in peace.
Revelio.
A rune symbol
Confringo.
above the cavern door.
Ranrock's loyalists never knew to look for it. Revelio. Sebastian, I think I found something. A canvas piece.
Brilliant. Our efforts weren't in vain after. What do you have? Still,
A journal entry by
something about
Isadora.
this place. Hopefully, it will help us unravel more of this mystery.
If the triptych led us here to find this bit of canvas, we can probably assume that Isadora Morganark was here.
She seems to have been everywhere.
But if she was using the Undercroft, and the cellar beneath her manor in Feldcroft, why would she create this space?
And why hide it behind cryptic rune symbols and ancient magic that no one but you could see?
Isadora and Percival Rackham, another of the Keepers, could see traces of ancient magic too.
Rackham? I haven't heard his name before.
Here's some of the memories I've seen. I don't think he and Isadora saw eye to eye on how this magic should be used.
This is all rather baffling. Let's take the canvas back to the triptych. Perhaps the answers are there. This place is odd, to be sure, but I'm fascinated by it. Now, for the trek back out of here and to Hogwarts.
Unless we can find another passageway to the Undercroft. Let's have a look around.
And now for the moment of truth.
It has to fit. Please tell me you recognize the location in this bit of canvas.
The good news is I do, in fact.
And the bad news?
We're in for more trouble. I know that coast. Ranrock has taken over a huge mine in the surrounding area. Marrenweem has suffered for it. It's as bad as Feldcroft's become. Should we head there now?
We should wait.
Why?
All this time, we've been a step behind Ranrock. I may know someone who could help us get ahead.
Who is that?
A friendly goblin. He wants no part in Ranrock's fight.
A friendly goblin? You know, goblins cursed my sister to shut her up. Said she should be seen and not heard.
I do, but not all goblins are...
Not all goblins what? Have you forgotten Feldcroft? Have you forgotten the mine we just went through?
No, Sebastian, I haven't. You're not listening to me.
Why would I listen to someone so ignorant?
You don't know what you're saying. Take a breath for a moment.
Oh, I know precisely what I'm saying. Unbelievable.
I hope Professor Fitz...
I believe my next broom upgrade to be even more impressive than the last. Come by Spintwitches as soon as you can.
Oh, good, you're safe.
There you are. You were in such a state when you left.
The poachers got to my gran. Someone recognized me in Horntail Hall and they got to her.
What do you mean? Is she all right?
She's fine, thank goodness. But they were at her house, our house. They assumed I'd sent the egg there. She said they took the whole place apart looking for it, screaming that we'd cost them everything.
If your grand's all right and they didn't get the egg, then perhaps we're fine.
I should have known. I underestimated the poachers. And now another creature's in danger.
What do you mean?
The poachers refused to leave empty-handed, so they took valuable journals that Gran had discovered when she was researching rare creatures. One of them contained theories about a secret hiding place of the Snidget, long thought to be extinct.
Where exactly are these Snidgets allegedly hidden?
Gran says the journals were a bit cryptic, which is good. Perhaps the poachers won't be clever enough to find the birds. From what she recalls, the journals only noted that the key to finding them lay in the moonlight. Gran thinks it can be narrowed down to a handful of locations.
Why would Snidgets be valuable to poachers?
They could make more money with Snidgets than they ever would have fighting dragons. The golden Snidget's feathers and eyes are incredibly valuable. That's why they're believed to be extinct. They were hunted out of existence by wizard kind. If the poachers found some now, I can't bear to think about the horrific way they'd be bred and killed for profit.
Exactly what kind of creature is a Snidget?
It's a small bird with golden feathers. It's incredible. It has rotational wings that allow it to dart quickly in any direction. In fact, the golden snitch in Quidditch is based on the Snidget, which barbarically was actually used in the sport hundreds of years ago.
I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets.
Gran wants me to stay out of it, but I know she's devastated that poachers might go after the Snidgets, if they still exist. We had the element of surprise on our side when we saved that dragon, but the poachers will be watching for us now.
We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us, who value creatures as much
Merlin's beard! You're a genius! The centaurs! They'd want the Snidgets protected at all costs.
Sounds as if we need to go and talk to the centaurs.
We'll need to be careful in how we approach them. Tensions with them are high. Still, I think they may be our only hope. Let me think on it. I'll let you know as soon as I have a plan.
No telling what lies in wait for me in there.
That could be used for better things than this so-called patrol.
Revelio!
Ranrock won't be stopped!
Confringo! Revelio! Confringo! Revelio! Confringo! Revelio! That's that. Settled.
Ah!
You're here. Good.
Sebastian, that relic you mentioned,
Don't think I've forgotten about your goblin friend. I haven't. But I needed to tell you what I've learned. I believe one of Slytherin's students stumbled upon the relic during an assignment to study sarcophagi in this catacomb. From what I read in a report by the student, they weren't permitted to take it with them, so I must assume it's still here. As I mentioned earlier, this relic grants its holder the power to reverse dark magic curses. If it's in this catacomb, I have to find it. For Anne. I need to see her.
I'd be interested to know what else the student discovered.
Have a look. Unfortunately, there's no name on it, but I suspect if it was important enough for Slytherin to stash in his spellbook, it's worthy of further study.
I'm ready to explore the catacomb. Perhaps we can visit Anne when we've finished.
Perfect. By the way, Ominous has been asking about you. You didn't tell him what we were doing, did you?
I didn't. I promise.
Good. Ominous would be livid if he knew what we were about to do. I'll be interested to compare what lies inside to what I've read about this catacomb. I'm sure that foul smell is the scent of success. Try not to lose your nerve just yet.
At least now we know we're not alone in here.
Perhaps that was it. And the rest of you, insect-free.
Yeah, the spiders aren't insects.
Don't start. Now this is the sort of great room I want to be buried in.
Surrounded by grandeur.
Grandeur and then some. Even an altar with a pile of bones.
Bones outside a sarcophagus. Seems odd. There's something here by the altar. Accio.
Confringo. Revelio.
We've rid the world of another spider. I shall sleep better tonight.
Accio. Revelio.
What did you find?
Revelio.
Looks like part of a student's diary. It mentions plans to return for the relic and conjuring barricades using bones.
Of course. The student's summary referenced a space beyond the Great Room, which means this can't be a dead end. Let's divide and conquer. You work on sorting out the bone barricades, I'll look around and see what we missed. Hold on to that diary entry. There may be more to it.
It does mention something else. It says their next assignment was learning the Imperious Curse.
Really? Interesting. We need to focus on moving beyond this room. But let me think for a moment.
Do you think the pages were left here on purpose?
Slytherin mentioned a student who excelled in charms and always carried a satchel stuffed full of notes. They might have been left on purpose, or the student may have simply dropped them.
Of course. I'll start to search for those barricades.
Brilliant. There's more to this than even I imagined. Look, bones stacked oddly on either side of this archway.
Leave no stone unturned. Or in this case, no bone. We've made it this far, but clearly we have more to do. Revelio. Accio.
Confringo!
Accio.
Confringo!
I need to find a safe way across.
Confringo!
Accio. Revelio.
Confringo!
Accio.
Confringo!
Accio.
Confringo!
Revelio.
Confringo!
Accio.
Confringo!
Arresto momentum. Revelio. Reparo. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Rickety Bone Bridge complete. Revelio. Accio. Revelio. Glacius. Defendo. Flipendo. Flipendo. Crucio. Revelio. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Arresto momentum. Revelio. Revelio. Accio! Wingardium Leviosa! Revelio! Accio! We're in the tomb. Assume eerie sounds come with the territory. Revelio! Accio! Wingardium Leviosa!
You've done it! I knew we'd get through. I felt it in my bones. The student's diary mentions the Imperious Curse. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to need it here. It's an unforgivable, but useful when you're outnumbered. Places the victim completely under the caster's control. So, if you'd like to learn Imperio, I can teach you.
Shouldn't I know more about what the curse entails?
Remember the blasting curse? Same idea, except when it comes to unforgivable curses, your intention has to be clear. You have to mean it.
Where did you learn the Imperious Curse?
I taught myself. Don't tell Ominous that I've told you. It's not exactly something I can brag about, but it may come in handy. I think you ought to know it.
It's probably wise to know the spell.
I couldn't agree more. A spell that could save your life shouldn't be unforgivable. You have a lot at stake. You have an ability that evidently no one's seen for centuries. Focus your wand movement. It's not an easy spell to master. Here we go. Something troubling ahead. Be on your guard.
Bombarder! Convulsor! Revelio!
Another barricade. Considering how well you did on the last one, this should be a cinch.
How gracious of you.
I try.
Revelio! Accio!
That worked.
Keep going. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Revelio. Confringo. Crucible. Accio. Revelio. Sendo. Confringo. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
You are head and shoulders above these bones. Nicely done. I see why Slytherin's student was so entranced with this place.
For a moment there, I thought that'd never end.
Revelio. Dead end. Lovely. All that for nothing.
Hold on. Don't give up yet.
Accio.
Sebastian! The relic! Look! Could it be? The note and rendition of the relic. It matches. This must be where the student left the relic.
I can't believe it. After all this, it lines up. We've really found it.
What do you suppose is meant by the dark sacrifice required to realize the relic's potential?
I have no idea. But we're here for the relic.
I'm willing to ignore what the journal entry says. We're taking the relic.
Agreed. This is meant to be. For Anne's sake, I'm taking it. Let's get to Feldcroft. I must keep this relic secret, especially from my uncle. Is that ominous? Ominous. The sounds we kept hearing. It was you.
You gave me no choice. I had to follow you. Sebastian, please, leave the relic alone. We can find another way to help Anne.
I'm sorry, Ominous, but I'm taking it.
No, you're not. If you won't put it back, then I will.
Hold on, both of you. Sebastian, please, take a step back.
Fine, but Ominous knows I won't step back from a fight.
Can't believe this.
How much did you hear?
Everything. I heard you encourage Sebastian to take the relic.
Sebastian's done his research. He knows what he's doing.
Sebastian makes things sound easy when they could be impossible or dangerous. We need to stop him.
And if nothing will change his mind?
Something has to. I need your help.
You're right. This seems far riskier than Sebastian realizes.
Good. We're agreed. We don't allow him to leave here with the relic.
I do think we should talk to him, but I fear we won't stop him from taking the relic.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting we negotiate. We allow Sebastian to leave with the relic under one condition. After this, no more.
I feel that's what we agreed to in the scriptorium. I'm being taken for a fool.
You're not, Ominous. This may be the only way to keep your friendship intact. Let's trust him to know what's best.
Fine. If I trust him on this, I'm trusting you too. The dark arts seem harmless until it's too late. Go then. Leave with the relic. I'll not say a word more. I hope I don't regret this.
Sebastian, we're ready.
What is it? I haven't changed my mind.
Ominous has. Let's go.
What? Ominous?
I'll explain on the way. Come on.
Well, what happened back there?
Ominous and I found a compromise.
Ominous simply needs a moment with you and he'll change his mind. Is that it?
I told him we ought to give you this chance, that the relic is too important to ignore.
There has to be more to it than that. Tell me.
We agreed on what was needed, Sebastian. You have my word.
I never wanted to keep all this from Ominous. He just doesn't understand. And I didn't want to worry him all over again. As we were leaving, Ominous wouldn't even acknowledge me. That's not like him.
He was troubled, Sebastian. Even though we agreed to it all, it's been a lot to take in.
I thought he understood. He knew we couldn't give up. All of this is too important. For Anne. When we get to Feldcroft, I'd rather Anne not know what had to be done to get this relic. She thinks like Ominous. It'd only upset her. Oh no, this isn't good.
What is it?
Smoke. Over there, by the hamlet. Feldcroft's in trouble. They're under attack.
Let's hurry.
I won't bet. Was that your best? I've been fighting since before you were born. Cover up wise,
Stop provoking them!
I'm handling it.
I'm handling it!
You haven't.
What have you done?
Saved my sister.
With an unforgivable curse. From that damned book, no doubt. Your father would be ashamed. You've gone too far, Sebastian. Stay away from her. From all of us.
What did my uncle expect me to do? The Imperious curse saved Anne's life. That goblin was going to kill her.
You did what you had to do.
If I have to keep proving that to my uncle, I will. He cannot banish me from my own home. From my sister.
It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit.
You may be right. Very well. Probably best if I get away from here for a while. I'll head back to Hogwarts.
What was he thinking?
Pardon me, Mr. Sallow.
What Sebastian did was inexcusable. You cannot possibly be about to defend him.
Sebastian and I have encountered Ranrock's loyalists before. That goblin would have killed Anne.
This family does not resort to using dark magic, even against our enemies. What Sebastian did cannot be undone. That you are defending Sebastian's behavior at all tells me everything I need to know. You are as guilty as he is. Sebastian is to come nowhere near Feldcroft, nowhere near Anne. Unforgivable curses are so named for a reason. If I hear that either of you continues down this path, if either of you uses dark magic, I will notify the headmaster immediately. Why, Sebastian?
We should speak with Mr. Bickle's friends. I believe I...